You've probably heard of the trolley problem, a moral philosophy question that asks if you would choose to save 5 people from being hit by an oncoming trolley by pulling a switch to divert the trolley to hit just one person. But the problem, and its many variations, weren't just conceived as a mental game to frustrate you. The original trolley problem was invented by British philosopher Philippa Foot in 1967 to argue that your duty to not do something, i.e. kill someone, often morally overrides your duty to do something, i.e. save someone. This was published in the paper The Problem of Abortion and the Doctrine of Double Effect. So, the trolley problem was conceived in part as a moral argument around abortion. Foot doesn't ever take a side on abortion, but uses the trolley problem to highlight different scenarios where you would have to terminate a pregnancy to save the mother. For example, is it morally permissible to terminate a pregnancy to save the mother if the fetus would survive even though the mother wouldn't? Kind of like a trolley moving towards the mother and pulling the switch to move it towards the fetus instead. The paper and the trolley problem actually began a long-standing moral debate with American philosopher Judith Jarvis Thomson, who argued that it is too simplistic to say that killing someone is always worse than letting someone die. Thomson came up with many variations of the trolley problem to dispute Foot's reasoning, but on abortion specifically, Thomson wrote the 1971 paper, A Defense of Abortion, which poses this thought experiment. You wake up attached to a famous violinist. He has a fatal kidney failure, and the only way he will survive is if his circulatory system is plugged into yours for the next 9 months while he recovers. Thomson argues that although the violinist has a right to life, that does not include the right to another person's body, so it is morally permissible for you to unplug yourself from the violinist. She relates this to terminating a pregnancy, but Philippa Foot disagreed, arguing that the violinist was already in a fatal condition before being unplugged, whereas the fetus is not. There's a lot to think about there, I guess, but of course the reality of having an unwanted pregnancy is very different and often much scarier than a thought experiment. So I guess I often wonder how useful these things really are. Let me know what you think.